Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. Welcome to another live paper crafting class here on YouTube. It is January 13th, Wednesday, January 13th. Gosh, we're getting so far into 2021 already. And it's 11 a.m. Central Time as I'm broadcasting to you live. I have a really fun card to share with you today using one of my favorite bundles in the new January through June catalog. Special welcome to all of you who are first-time viewers. If you are tuning in live for the first time, you'll want to be logged into your Google/YouTube account, and that will allow you to comment during the live. Fun! I have a special guest with us today. I'm going to put on my mask really quickly. She's on the other side of the room, and her name is Trisha Josephs. So welcome, Trisha. You get to meet her. This is my what do we call you? My moderator. Hi. This is my moderator, Trisha. Say hello to Trisha, everybody. Isn't she wonderful? We love her. Thank you for coming today. So she was coming here today because she needed to pick up some things, and I said, hey, why don't you come and introduce yourself too? So she's doing her moderating off in the background there on the other side of the craft room. So thank you, Trisha. All right, so I'm going to walk you through the steps of making a Faker Shaker card. I'm so excited. This is a card that I showed in my first of two box opening videos that I did when I revealed new products from the January through June mini catalog and the celebration brochure that started just like last week. And a lot of people were saying, oh gosh, show us how to make that card. So I had to, of course, and this is the day. So you're going to see how to make this fun Faker Shaker out of the Floating and Fluttering bundle. Let me bring you to the desktop really quickly here, and you'll be able to see those products. So this is the Floating and Fluttering stamp set, and you can see it's got butterflies in it. I love butterflies. Those of you that visit my website know that I love butterflies. That's kind of like my little mascot. And so I'm going to, oops, let's hang on. There we go. So this is the stamp set. It's like a stamp set that I totally could have had a say in. I love it. I love it. It's got it's the two-step stamp set type of stamp set in that you stamp images within or over top, and you can build the look of the image. So all of these little things here are images that you put on top of the butterflies or the leaves, and those create a fuller, more colorful image. You've also got a frame in here. There are no sentiments in the stamp set, so you can pair it up with your favorite stamp set that has words in it. And then these are the dies that coordinate with that stamp set. You can see there's a couple in here that are duplicates of each other. So you can stamp this full image, which is actually all connected when you stamp it, and you can die cut it all connected because in our mini catalog, if you haven't seen this yet, on page 61, which is where they show the bundle, you can see this framed card here. It's a technique that a lot of people are doing on their cards nowadays. I'm not showing you that one today, but it's the floating frame, I think is what it's called, floating frame technique. And this stamp set and die set just lends itself really well to making lots of cards like that. So that is the reason why for the design. Okay, also along with that, there is a more detailed butterfly. And when you when you die cut this, you also get an embossed look. So let me show you the fun dies. This is what you get when you die cut all of them. This one here is that special one that I just talked about, and you can actually layer it inside of one of the other die cut pieces so that you have more of a 3D effect, and you can pull up the wings. When you are stamping the images for this stamp set, you'll want to build a couple images on top of each other like this. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to stamp and we're going to build. And then after they're all built, we're going to die cut them. We're going to do a couple leaves here. So I'm actually going to cut into this piece to remove some of these images to start our card. But let's actually start with comments. Comments from last week. So on that note, back to Trisha. Trisha is our moderator. She's got the little sign next to her name when she types in something. And if you have questions, you can tag her in your question. Let me go back here. Hang on. There we go. I'm going to pull up the comments from last week. and we'll be able to see those. So yes, the way that you tag her, oops. The way that you tag her is you type the @ sign and then you start writing her name. And her first name is spelled Tricia. So once you start typing her name, it's going to bring her name up. You click on it and then her name will show up orange for her so she can see if you have a question. That is the best way to reach her. She is trying to read through all the comments, but if you want to see your comment quickly, that's the best way to do it, is to tag her with the @ sign. These are comments from last week, and I wanted to point them out because I love recognizing new viewers from all over the place. Thank you for joining in. We have people from the UK and Germany who were watching last week, from Texas, from down east Maine. I would love to visit Maine someday. I love when you share the weather. And this one made me giggle. Mary mentioned that in South Dakota it was above freezing. It was a nice day. And I can relate because we're from Minnesota, and yeah, we love it when it's above freezing. But a lot of you can't even handle that, I'm sure. So it's interesting when you live in the winter. Okay, what else did I want to point out here? Oh, and Susan, she decided not to sleep because she works a night shift. So thank you, Susan, for joining last week. That was sweet of you. We had some people chime in about their teaching experiences because I did mention that I used to be an elementary teacher, so that was fun to read. And Terry, so I wanted to point out Terry's comment because she had seen the little image that comes up before the live goes. There's always an image of the card, kind of a close-up image or whatever of the project that I'm going to share. And so she decided not to even dive into her box of goodies yet until she saw the video. Thank you, Terry. Up here, there was a mention last week of certain colors that will be leaving us. Pretty Peacock was one of them. So pretty soon, when the annual catalog ends, that is, I think May 3rd is the last day. Comment if I'm wrong, but I think it's May 3rd. Anyways, there are going to be 5 colors that are going to leave us. And those colors are Pretty Peacock, Rococo Rose. Let's see if I can remember them all. I'm looking over to my side here. Rococo Rose, Seaside Spray, Purple Posy, and Terracotta Tile. And when those colors leave, they're gone for good. Sometimes they come back on the clearance rack. But if you are in love with any of those 5 colors, you'll want to invest in any cardstock or ink or re-inkers, especially re-inkers. And a lot of people were mentioning that. So thank you for chiming in. And you just crack me up. And I'm forgetting your first name, Hippie Kansas Girl, but your comments crack me up because she predicts what I'm going to wear. And then she wanted to steal my ring. What else? And Carrie, I love your comment about staining stamps. Yes, it does show that they are loved. And yes, I do stamp in the car. None of you do that? When you're driving somewhere, I bring my crafting goodies with me and I sit in the passenger side while my husband drives and I craft. It's doable, especially with that mini stamp and cut and emboss machine. This stamp set, oh my gosh, it's sitting on the table because yes, we are going to be using that one too. This one's called the You Are Amazing stamp set. This one coordinates with a kit in the front of the mini catalog. So now I'm going to show you that page really quickly. That's on page 7 of the mini catalog. So one more product and then I'm going to bring you over to the measurements. Set these aside for a minute. This is some beautiful paper. It's actually in 4 colors. You're seeing one side of it. I'm going to flip it over and you're going to be able to see the other side. It's called the Oh So Ombre paper. And you can see that there's kind of a print design and then just a gradual color of, light to dark. And then on the flip side, so this is Coastal Cabana and Granny Apple Green. And then we have, Rococo Rose. And shoot, I'm blanking on the 4th color. You guys chime in if you know. But those papers are free. They're a free celebration pick. So how do you get them free? You look in the celebration catalog or you go to the online store and you go under specials. And this is the brochure that shows off all the free goodies. The Oh So Ombre paper is available from now through the end of February as a free pick with a $50 order. The colors listed here. Where is it? Blackberry Bliss. That's why, because it's a light version of it. It's Blackberry Bliss. So yes, you can get your hands on that paper if you purchase $50 worth. And we're going to be using a sheet of that. So measurements, you're going to need those, aren't you? Let's bring those over. Kind of going in a sporadic motion today. Okay, here are the measurements and the supplies. So if you are wanting to, you can take a screenshot so you can immediately work on these things now, or you can wait and you can find the link to my blog in the description of this video, and at 12:15, which is about an hour from now, you'll be able to go there and pull up this sheet on a PDF, print it off, and use it that way. Okay, so now that you can see all the measurements and supplies, I just want to point out that that Oso Ombre paper it's got the little free SAB, that means free celebration. That's just a product that you can't purchase, but you have to earn. And I do have metric and imperial measurements there for those of you that live outside the US. Yes, we're all happy. Yay, we're going to craft now. I'm so excited. So let us move. Oops, wrong one. Doing too much with my cameras. There we go. We're going to move to the desktop and we're going to start cutting some of our basic pieces. If you are a beginning crafter, you could totally craft along with me if you'd like. We are going to be using some die cutting though, so that involves a big tool, and I'll show you that soon. And it's kind of an investment tool, but it's so worth it. We're going to start with our 8.5 by 11 cardstock. We're going to position it horizontally into our trimmer, and we're going to cut it in half. So this direction here is 11 inches. We're going to bring it to the 5.5 inch mark, and we're going to slice with our cutting blade. This blade here is the scoring blade. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move that piece off to the side because we don't need it. You can make 2 cards, by the way, from 1 sheet of cardstock. We're going to rotate this so that it's now positioned in our trimmer horizontally with the 8.5 inch direction this way. And we're going to bring it to the 4.25 inch mark. We're going to use the lighter color blade, which is the scoring blade, and we're going to press. And the scoring blade is a nice thing because it breaks the fibers of the cardstock and makes it so easy to fold that cardstock in half. One other tool that you'll want to pull in, or you don't have to. This is like not an emergency tool, but it's nice to have. It's one of those luxury items, is the bone folder. And you just give it a crease and it really flattens that paper out, makes it easy to work with. Let's bring in our Whisper White, not this one, but our other Whisper White. So this layer here is cut to 4 inches by 5.25, and we're going to stamp on that, and we're going to put that inside our card. That layer is the same size as the designer paper that I cut for the top of the card. So this will go on the top, this will go on the inside. So we're going to grab our large image from that stamp set, Floating and Fluttering, and we'll take our Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and we're going to ink up that stamp. The larger the stamp, the more I tend to use my stamp upside down and the ink pad on top of it like this. Now if that isn't something that you're used to, you can totally go like this too. You'll notice a little bit of movement on my desk as I do this, sorry. And once we've done that, we can take and stamp, and I have to cheat. Hold on. I'm peeking at the finished one to make sure I stamp it the same way. We're going to stamp this on the inside like, oh, some of you are yelling at me. I can hear you. Take out that what's it called? Stampin' Pierce mat. This mat here allows us to have, hang on, one more thing. I'll just flip this one over. It allows us to have a softer surface, and I need some scrap paper underneath it. Now we'll go ahead and stamp. Yay, Rachel remembered. And that's going to go right here in the corner, like that. And then we're going to stamp the other little butterfly from the top. We'll stamp that up here, kind of like my finished card. Kind of like my finished card, like that. So that layer is done. Let's take that out of the way, and we can bring in our scrap paper now. And we'll ink up the stamp one more time, and we'll stamp it down with full ink. onto the paper. So this is going to be the piece that we start inking up. And I knew that was going to happen because I didn't press hard enough onto my ink pad. So I have another one, but we'll play around with this one first, and then we'll go ahead and do, never mind. I'm just talking to myself. Okay, now we're going to ink up this one, and we're going to stamp that twice. And we're going to bring in our die cutting machine. Yes, I'm saving that. You don't see what's happening behind the curtain, but I'm saving something to use later. Okay, we're bringing in the die cutting machine. So beginning stampers, this is the tool that I mentioned. That it's a big investment, but it's worth it, especially if you're loving making cards, because a lot of products out there involve dry embossing, which is pressing paper into fun little textured layers, and then there's also die cutting, which is what I'm going to show you now. So we're going to take this piece and we're going to form our sandwich. We've got our base, which is number 1. So you can see there's numbers on here. That's our base. Then we need this, which is the thin die adapter. And then we need one of our cutting mats, our paper, our dies, and I just need one of these. And then we'll need the little tiny guy too. So we're going to die cut one of these. Now I do not have a magnetic surface, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some little post-it note flags, and I'm going to position that in place so that it doesn't move on me. And this one here, I'll do the same thing. Just because I have a lot of images on here and I do not want my die to shift on me. Okay, so now that that's held in place, I can put my other cutting mat on top and line it up and crank it through. And you'll put your hand on top to support it. Looks like it's working. Good. So now that we've brought that all the way through, we pull off these post-it flags, sticky flags, whatever. I'm using the brand name, sorry. Whatever works for you. So there's what we've got, is that whole, you can see it's all one cluster, and then we've got that little leaf set there. We need another one of these leaves, so we're going to do one more, and we'll just make it go back in the other direction. So we'll go like this again, grab a little flag, line it up, and crank it through. And at this point, I would probably do my little frame piece too, because there's a frame piece on the card, but I've already die cut that with the frame die, so that's set to go. Now, you can stamp the insides of these before you die cut if you wish, but because I made that little mistake with the inking up, I decided to do it after. So either way works. And see, that one's so much better. So we're going to use that one, and we'll use these two little guys. And then we'll bring back our, sorry, making a mess off to the side here. We'll bring back that Stampin' Pierce mat, so everybody's relieved. Now, why do I use the Stampin' Pierce mat? For those of you that are beginners, these kind of stamps are, photopolymer stamps are really flat to the block. They don't have a cushion between them like the red rubber stamps do. So see, you can see there's a cushion there. And that creates a little bit better image when you have that cushion. So we're creating the feel of that cushion by having this Stampin' Pierce mat underneath. We're going to bring in all of these little layering stamps here now, and we're going to start adding some color. So let's start with the one that actually looks the weirdest. I'm using is it Highland Heather? It's Highland Heather. Did I grab the wrong color? Hang on. Highland Heather. There we go. So Highland Heather, and I need my scrap paper again, so we're just going to pull this in. I have my scrap paper down here, but I forgot that I needed my Stampin' Pierce mat. Okay, so let's take this wing. So we're gonna ink up this one. We're gonna stamp it off onto our scrap paper, and then we're gonna come right on top of that butterfly and stamp right inside. I need to zoom in. You guys need to see this better. This is so much fun. Okay, so we've filled in the inside, and then we're going to use this one that looks weird. It totally, look at that image. That is so strange, but this is the one that actually fills in right here on the butterfly. See? See how cool that is? So exciting. Okay, let's do the Poppy Parade one next. Poppy Parade, such a nice red. It's bright and cheerful. And we're going to do the same idea. So we're going to stamp off onto our scrap paper. Oops, sorry, get that in the camera. Stamp off. And then we're going to come on top of our smaller butterfly and stamp right in there. Okay, next we're going to do the layer. So you can see the red or the pink inks do stain stamps a little bit more. But they're loved. They're loved stamps. And there's the layer on that one. We'll do the big butterfly next, and we'll do that in Coastal Cabana, because aside from greens, blue is my next favorite color. So we're going to do Coastal Cabana next. In fact, I would say Granny Apple Green and Coastal Cabana are tops on my list. Stamp off again onto our scrap paper, fill in the butterfly. So easy, you guys. Isn't this great? This is like stress relief too, you know, like if you have something going on in your life that is super stressful, and don't we all with the pandemic, stamping is one of those things that can just relieve the stress. It's therapeutic, right? How many of you agree with me? I'm sure we all agree. We have the green left, the green, and then we need to do a little bit of black. Where did my black ink go? Somewhere. I lost it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so that one's going to be used with the words. But all the rest of these we have to do with the, we have to fill in these little areas. So what I did on my finish card, because you don't have two-step leaves, is some of them I stamped light and some of them I stamped dark. So I'm going to stamp off to get a lighter set of leaves on that one. And then I'm going to just keep full color. I inked it up again off to the side here. I'm going to do full color on this one here, like that. And then for the tinier ones, do I even have those in there? I don't. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, I know what I did on this one. This one's kind of fun. I think what I did is I kind of did like a little rocking motion, I want to say. No, what did I do? Did I take the blender pen? I don't even know now. Let's do this. I didn't list it as a tool, but you can take and lighten some areas. Oh, that's gonna wipe it off completely. I don't know what I did now. Shoot. Okay. Stamp, and then let's just go in with let's just dab a little color here and there. Maybe that'll do it. Gosh, Rachel, what did you do? Craziness. Let's see if that works. It should work. There's all kinds of ways to do it. Ah! It got the look. So I got kind of a dark and light look on those leaves. And then the last two, these guys here have to get inked up. And I think I have a light and a dark on my finished one. Ink it up, stamp it down. Ink it up, stamp off, stamp it down. Lots of putsy getting ready stuff on this card, but once that's out of the way, the assembly process is pretty darn quick. We're going to ink up our sentiment, and this one is the one that says "You are amazing." We'll stamp that in the bottom right-hand corner of our label, and that did not get dark enough, so we're going to, you know what, maybe it's my ink pad. Maybe I have to re-ink my ink pad. We're going to stamp that in the bottom right-hand corner again. That's better. I'm going to set that off to the side so I remember to ink that up better next time. Re-inkers are great. They keep your inks fresh. So we've got our pieces. We've got our 20 inches of ribbon. We've got our cellophane envelope, our clear envelope. Let me zoom out here. We've also got our layers. So, oops, here they are. So here, we're going to start assembling the card now. And I'm looking around here to make sure I've used everything. I think I have. Okay, so for the assembly process, I put on there tape such as Scotch tape. That's optional. There are a couple ways, and I'm going to show you another way that you can do without the Scotch tape. But this way, using Scotch tape, is sometimes easier for a lot of people. So here we go. We're going to start by bringing in our designer paper into the sleeve of our clear envelope. And you can see what happens here when I bring this in is I have extra room on the sides and on the top here. So I'm going to actually fold this over, and that's where the tape comes in. Let's actually do that step right now. Now, instead of putting a strip of tape across here like that, I'm also going to show you that you can do it with just your regular adhesive. So I can come in and I can put some of the seal adhesive across here, and I can fold it over and press it down. And that will do a similar trick, okay? Now, as long as, because there's a little bit of gappage in here, as long as I also put seal here and here to make this thing lay completely flat, it's going to be good, okay? Now, what I'll do is I'll take and I'll pour in some of these woven thread sequins. These woven thread sequins, these are going to be gone because these are in the in colors that are leaving us, the pretty peacock, purple posy, terracotta tile, all of those colors. So, but I think it works really well with the colors of this card. So you're just going to sprinkle a few in there. And we'll just add a few more. The more the merrier. Of course, the more the thicker it's going to be too when you mail it. So, but I don't care. I can afford another 15 cents. So there's that. And then we want to seal it up in this direction. You've got this tape adhesive on the end of your cellophane envelope, your clear envelope. And you can just take and fold that over like this. And that will seal in all of your sequins like so. So now we've got the front layer base going. That's how you make a faker shaker. Super easy. There is no thick tape in there. So this here right now could be mailed with just like one postage stamp because it's a very flat piece. We're going to grab our ribbon, and this is where it might cost a little bit more because sometimes ribbon will give a little bulk to your card. We're going to tie a bow, and just going to make sure it's turning in the right direction here. So that's going to go here. And you could do a knot. If bow tying is not your favorite thing, feel free to do a knot. I do have other videos in the past, and they're not specific, so I can't tell you which ones, but I have other videos where I show how to do bow tying. Sorry, not going to do it on this one. Feel the time already edging up on us. So there's our bow. Oh, heck, why not? It's only 11:30. Okay, so you're going to do right over left. And then you're going to bring this one that's on the left, you're going to bring it down this way. You're going to flip it through and bring it down. Then this one is going to go in this direction, going up. So you've got your two strands going in opposite directions. Then you need to have like a friend nearby, but I don't. I just use my ring finger here and I hold it down. So you get used to using that ring finger. You make a loop with the bottom one, and there's no twists or turns in it. You just make a little loop there. Bring this one, the top one, to the left and around. So it went this way and around. So it's coming across the bottom now. And now we're going to take the middle of this and we're going to push it through where that loop is forming. So that's going to come right in through here. And when I do it really slow, it sometimes doesn't work. It worked! Yay, it worked. And then you can just take the little loops of your bows and you can hold on to them while you pull the tail. You can shorten them and then tighten them a little bit more each time. That was not like my best demonstration of bow tying, but hopefully that relieves some of the stress of some of you saying, well, show us now. There, I showed you quickly, right? Sorry about that. This piece is going to go on here with dimensionals, and we're going to scoot it down just a tad. And that will help hold the ribbon in place, because right now the ribbon is very slidey. So we're going to put that on with dimensionals. And that'll help to hold it in place. I'm making sure it's the same spot on my other card here. So we'll just put a couple dimensionals here to hold the ribbon in place. Maybe one right there. Peel off the backings. And we'll tuck it right underneath like that. And there is that piece. Oop, that's going to go a little higher. Okay, next, let's go ahead and add this layer to the front of our card. So this is where I mentioned you'll want to do your seal adhesive right on top of this piece and this piece. So they're kind of holding on to each other, and you're making sure that this top little flap that got folded over is going to be held down. So that goes on the front of the card. Did you see this right here, you guys? This little section here where you can see there's a little bit of cardstock showing through. So because of that, because they're not lined up perfectly, I'm flipping this over, and I'm going to use this side instead for the front of my card. That's going to go here. This one will go on the inside. Like that. Because it's always fun to have butterflies on the inside of your butterfly card. And then the last part is just adding these. Now, because these are all connected, you just have to bring in your scissors, your paper scissors, and we'll just do some creative cutting. They do come apart very nicely. They separate very nicely. So you can almost see. So do you see where I cut there? You can see there's a little bit of edge on the paper. You can come back to that and clean it up in a minute. But you'll want to get smooth edges on all of them. So now you can see there's that little piece here, so we can come in and we can smooth it out right there. And again, I'm just going to smooth this little piece right there. That one you don't have to worry about too much because it's going to get tucked underneath the card. But here you want to focus more on the butterfly body, and then you can bring that leaf area to a point more. We'll smooth this leaf side out. And then round that out. These I probably could have had cut ahead of time. But I'm giving you tips, right? These are tips on cutting. So worry about one side first and then clean up the corners on the other side. Oh, you can see the tail here on the butterfly, so we want to trim that up a bit. But it doesn't take too long to separate these all out if that's the way you want to use them. And then it's just a matter of getting the glue dots out. And remember, the glue dot container has changed. So if you are purchasing glue dots in your recent days here and you're seeing them on the flip side, then don't worry, that's just the way they are. For a while I didn't know that, and I called Stampin' Up. They didn't know it either. They were sending me out replacement ones, so I gave away the ones that I thought were ruined as prizes. So enjoy those because they are the way the glue dots are now. Okay, so now we just build this up. And I think I'm going to start with the big butterfly, because the big butterfly is pretty much just going to go on with its whole body. We're going to put that right here. We're going to put the red one on with seal also. Sorry, moving out of my camera there. That's going to go up here like that. My purple one is going to sit on top of the E. There we go. That's going to sit on top of the E like that. And now we're going to bring in the glue dots. And the one thing that I do like about the new way the glue dots are is you can peel off a strip and it's all handy, ready to go. So we're going to grab this lighter one and we're going to tuck it underneath the red butterfly up here, like that. We're going to grab the darker small one, and that one's going to actually be behind the red butterfly but up higher. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to attach the glue dot to the front side of it, oops, to the front side of it instead of the back side. So it's there so that when we put it underneath the butterfly, it's actually, oops, this one has to, oh, I didn't get a glue dot on that one. Hang on. Grab the glue dot. There we go. So now I'm going to show you the difference between these. So this one here looks like it's further away. It's connected to the base of the card, and this one's connected to the butterfly. So there's some dimension that is showing on that. This one here I'll flip over also, and we'll attach it like this to that corner. This one, I think I also attached it directly. So I'm flipping it over again. I attached it directly underneath here, like that. And then the last one is this fun one that challenged me at the beginning, and that one is going to go directly onto the card base. So we'll put the glue dot on the back side, and we'll tuck it under like that. And you don't have to even worry about the ends of all of those pieces because the label piece covers them up. They're all hidden. I think I'll put a glue dot on this one because it's flying away. Butterflies do that, you know, they fly away. So there's that. And there's our finished card. Oh, trimming up the ends of the ribbon. Isn't that fun? I only made one version today. Sorry about that, but I have a couple other cards that I want to show you. So I'm going to bring in the finished sample, show you the inside so you can see them both at the same time. It's just such a fun set. It's a fun stamp set, fun colors. I love bright colors. I don't know, it makes me happy. I hope you enjoyed this card, you guys. I have another shaker to share with you, and this time the shaker is made from a different set of products in the January through June catalog. So I'm going to grab that mini, which went behind me, and I'm going to open it up and show you that other suite. This other shaker card I'm actually going to feature on my blog 2 days from now. So today is January 13th. It's a Wednesday. You'll see the card I shared. You'll see all the information on it on my blog real soon in like 30 minutes. Can you hear the cat? He's making noise again. And then the other card that I'm going to show you right now, the other two cards, I'm actually going to share on Friday, so 2 days from now. And those two cards are featuring this suite. This is our Sand and Sea suite. And let me just grab that out of there here. You can see my mess on my table. The Sand and Sea suite is stunning as well. It's just drop dead gorgeous. You have pearlescent specialty paper. You have these beautiful opal round accents. I'm going to show you some of this stuff up close. The designer paper. But yeah, you'll want to check this out. On the flips, oh, you can see all the fun little samples over here too. On the flip side, you can see the stamp set up close. You can see what the dies look like. So let me show you the cards now that are going to be on my blog. So this is one of the cards that will be on my blog. You can see I've got the inside here and the outside showing. So what I did is I used this die here that's in the set along with the coordinating embossing folder. And you can die cut your image. You can run it through the embossing folder and you get that textured die cut look on the pearlescence paper. It's gorgeous. Then I did a faker shaker. I used a swatch of that paper that's in the suite. I think it's called Sand and Sea designer paper. I used a piece of that inside. Same measurements as the card that I'm sharing today. Same technique of getting the sequins in there. Those sequins are the Whale of a Time sequins though, and they are in the annual catalog. And just worked really well with the papers. Have some fun shells in them too. So I did that. I stuck this on there, stamped, and cut out 2 circles here. This one is 2 inches wide. This one's 2 1/4 inches wide. They're layered together using navy ink, by the way, layered together and stuck on with dimensionals, just like I did with my other label piece. This ribbon is one that you can get in the annual catalog. You'll see the supplies again listed on Friday. And then I just added the opal rounds. Now this is a portion of the die cut piece. This is the other portion. So you only have to do it once instead of twice. You just cut them into two pieces, and that piece decorated the inside. So those are the tips I have for that card, because I won't be sharing directions in detail, at least on that blog post, because I have two cards to share. The other card that I want to tell you about is this one here. And this one introduces us to some new celebration products that are only available to somebody who's getting a starter kit. But first, let me tell you how I did this card. So this one is also embossed, but I did not die cut it. I just embossed on the paper here, and then I took and added some color with a blending brush and just kind of moved the color on. It was coordinating color, so this is crumb cake cardstock. I think I used soft suede ink, which is a coordinating color, and it just kind of deepened and brought in some shadows on the embossed layer. Stamped, die cut with our stitched shapes dies for the sentiment in the center. These are, of course, those opal round accents again. This is some of our early espresso ribbon that's in the annual catalog. Again, all the supplies will be listed in that post. But this piece here, this angled piece, fun idea. Let me show you how you do that. You take your 6x6 paper, and let's see if I can piece this together right. It may not be put together exactly the right way, but so you take your 6x6 paper and you pick a measurement. Okay. On this one, I think I picked 2.5 inches. Yes, I did. You pick a measurement and you measure in 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, and you mark it. And then you can take and connect it with lines if you'd like to, that you can erase later, and you cut. And what you end up with is a piece that has a 90-degree angle. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 90-degree angle here, 90-degree angle here. But when you choose which 90-degree angle you use, you can make that fun angled corner look. So this piece here is actually, it was measured in at 1.5 inches on all of those sides. So if you can picture 4 of those pieces connected, and I'll have a picture in this blog post so you can see it, but you can picture 4 of those pieces connected, measured in 1.5 inches, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and you cut to connect those little spots. Then after you've drawn your lines, you can flip it over instead of erasing, and you can attach your piece. So that's how I got that. And I mass produced a bunch of these cards because I have a team of demonstrators and I love to recognize them. So these are some of the cards that are going to be going out to a few of them real soon, like today, now that I've shown them to you. So where do you find those papers? These beautiful monochromatic papers are a starter kit only special. And in the celebration brochure, the starter kit special this month and next is basically 5 packs of designer paper that are 6x6 in all of these beautiful colors, monochromatic colors, showing off every single color that Stampin' Up! Has except for the ones that are leaving us. Why not the ones that are leaving us? Because these papers are actually an early release. They are papers that are going to be available for everyone to purchase once the new annual catalog begins in May. But for now, the people who are getting the starter kit get their hands on them early. So if you're interested, contact your demonstrator. If you are not a demonstrator already, contact your demonstrator or reach out to me if you'd like to, and you can get your hands on all of those wonderful papers. That's like a $57.50 value right there. It's so cool, and they're free. The starter kit itself is $99, no shipping, and you get to choose up to $125 worth of merchandise. It's the best deal we have. You can be a discount shopper for as long as you'd like. So on that note, I think I'm going to do some prizes. Are we ready, Trisha? She's busy typing over here. Can you hear the typing in the background? It's kind of fun. She's a busy gal. Okay, So what are the prize options for today? Today, you have your choice of products again if you are a winner. And we're going to do 4 winners. We're going to do 2 live and then 2 after live. Yay! So the choice of prizes are basically Celebration stamp sets. And some of you that know Celebration may already have some picked out that you're seeing here if you're going to be one of the winners. We have A Touch of Ink. We have Berry Blessings. We have Approaching Perfection, Darling Donkeys, Heal Your Heart. These all can be earned through the Celebration catalog with purchases. This is also a choice. I always have people who never claim their prizes. These 2 containers of snowflake sequins, which would make great shaker cards as well, they are up for grabs. So if you do not want a stamp set, or you've earned all of these, or you never got your hands on these, whatever, you can choose this instead. So there's 6 prizes to choose from. We're gonna have 4 winners, 2 live today and 2 from the comments that are shared after the live. So if you're watching this when it's not live, you comment below and you can get entered. So on that note, we're going to go over to the winners that we had from last time. So last week, and let me pull this off of here, bring this over. Congratulations to Barbara Ann and Judy. You 2 are the winners that I drew from the after live comments from our video from last week, so January 6th, when we did the Fine Art Floral Elegance. Your prizes, though, are different, just so you know. You got 1/4 of a pack, and I'll just hold it up here. You got 1/4 of a pack of that acetate, the Fine Art Floral Acetate, and the matching paper. And yes, I saw a comment. Make sure that they match up, because they are. The papers are going to match up with the acetate, those 2 sheets in there. So that is the prize for both Barbara Ann and Judy. Make sure you reach out to me. I do have a little overlay here. Look at that. I'm so good. Reach out to me at stampyourartout@comcast.net to claim your prize. The live winners, I have a hard time reaching out to. In fact, last week's live winners, I still haven't heard from you. So Jill Peterson and Christy Haynes, Trisha announced you as winners last time in the live, and you haven't claimed your prize yet. So reach out to me, and we will get you, all 4 of you. Yeah, I'm doing 2 winners for both. Yes. Did you notice that? I don't even think I was going to tell you that. Sorry about that. But yeah, 4 winners, because that paper cuts into 6 by 6 4 times. So why not? And then Trisha, I think, is probably, I'm just going to bring this over here so I can pull up my computer, show you the stuff on, or not show you the stuff on my computer that you don't want to see. And I'm going to peek through here to see if she has announced the winner yet. So the winner, again, you get to pick from any of those 5, the winners get to pick from any of those 5 stamp sets, or you can have the sequins. And even though, it's funny, because even though she's here in the room with me, there is a delay, and it's like a 30-second delay. I should have warned her about that.
It's closer to 40 seconds.
It's closer to 40 seconds, she says. Okay. So she typed them when I was saying this, or like right before, but it's probably still taking a while to come up. That's so funny. I could just say, hey, Trisha, who are they? They're going to show up. Anyways, when your name pops up, if you are one of the 2 winners, please reach out to me, because I have no way of getting a hold of you from the live comments. I can't grab those comments. This is funny. We're both just like, where are they?
I can see it.
You can see it on your end?
Well, because I can see when I typed it in.
Oh, true. And it's so funny. See, there's probably like a double delay. Like my delay in saying it, and yeah, anyways.
It's Terry Hendricks and Nancy K.
Terry Hendricks and Nancy K. Awesome, because I haven't seen them pull up yet. That's funny. All right, so congratulations. You guys probably are seeing this because anyways, yeah, it's weird, the whole timing of it. I wish it was more instant. On that note, I hope you all had fun. Remember, if you're interested in any of these products, you can always shop through your demonstrator or through myself, or through you if you are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Celebration lasts through the end of February, so take advantage of the kit special or the freebies. You have a couple months to do that. And next week, I know what I'm showing, but I can't remember. So it'll just be a surprise. January 20th. Be back to visit me, please, on a live at 11 a.m. That's Wednesday, January 20th. And I think that's all I was going to mention. So I will let you all go. This lasted 50 minutes. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I appreciate you all. Thanks now. Now I'm going to let you all go and stamp your art out. Bye.